Want to hear an uncomfortable truth? This is Paul Mullin. He plays football at Wrexham, which makes him somewhere around the 3,000th best football player in the world, and in 2025 he made a yearly net income of about 300,000 euros. This is Karue Sell. In 2024 he was tennis world number 259 and his yearly net income was minus $12,501. It might not be obvious, but one of these two is getting a bad deal out of his sport. Welcome to the dark side of tennis. A sport considered the 5th most popular in the world, famous for being posh and sponsored by the most prestigious brands, and yet barely any professional player can make a living out of it. The tennis social class is basically divided in three. The super rich in the top 10, the rich in the top 100, and then guys doing advertising with little hearts on them. I'm joking, the last category doesn't even have sponsors. Think about it as a development country under dictatorship. There's no proper middle class, it goes pretty much straight from here to there. Beyond the top 100, you don't make money anymore. You start paying to be a tennis player. And I'm really not exaggerating, it's a fact. Tennis player is actually one of the most winner-takes-all jobs on the planet, which is a PC way of saying it's the shittiest career choice you can ever make. It literally works for no more than 200 people. Only F1 is worse. So you see the glitters, the cars, the cows, the fancy dresses, Tsitsipas's hair. The reality for most tennis professionals is very, very different. So today, let's see how money works in tennis. There are three ways to make money as a pro tennis player. By winning matches and then you get some prize money, by having sponsors and then you get endorsement fees, and by appearing, which is actually a thing for which you get appearance fees. You also get exhibitions, but I leave it aside as it's not the official tour. The only option for 99% of professional players is the first one. So let's start with this. It's pretty basic. You win matches, you earn money. So the question is, how do you win enough matches to make enough money? First off, you need to access the professional tournaments. Yeah, most of the time it actually looks more like that. There are two leagues for those. You get a small league with futures and challengers tournaments, and then you have the big league with ATP tournaments and Grand Slams, and that's where the real money's at. To access these, unless you're top 100, you need to qualify. Qualies are basically like the Squid Games. You have to face a whole bunch of players whose yearly income pretty much depends on it. These people are not fighting for prestige, glory, or personal development. They're fighting for their lives. And on top of this, to participate in these tournaments, you also need to travel, a bit like a business trip. But not like any business trip. Hey Jimmy, good news my boy, you got a mission to Mumbai. Mumbai? I don't know, It pays 30,000. Whoa, 30,000? Yeah, actually after expenses you're left with about 150. Wait, what? 150, are you deaf? What do you mean? Yeah, cause there are like 30 other dudes competing for the job, including Fat Bob. Boss, come on, the kid's gonna freak out. Shut the fuck up. That's not a really good deal, Mr. Jones. You're smart, Jimmy, you've always been. Yeah, okay, look, can I just work from here? There's no work for you here, Jimmy. Don't be a bitch about it. Well, fuck that, I'm going back to my father's bakery. Well, go then. Alright then. So on top of the travels, you need to pay for the hotels, the food, the physio, and your Netflix subscription, because let's face it, when you travel alone, Netflix is your best friend. Over a year for a player like Karue Sell, this amounted to $39,137. And when you're done paying all of this, you're left with, well, minus 12k. In a nutshell, beyond top 100, you actually spend more money than you earn. How is this possible? Well, by having a rich family or a national federation that helps you, or working as a part-time banker, baker, whatever. So that's the fate of 99% of professional tennis players. Now, the other two ways of making money, which let's be very clear are only reserved to about 100 people on the planet, are sponsorship and appearing. Sponsorship is when a brand pays you to show its product. Some are prestigious, others are el pozo. But whatever you think about the prestige of representing a sausage brand, this type of income ends up paying way more than actual prize money for the top players. Appearance fees are also reserved to the very best. And it means that you need to appear. Like literally, you can come, play one match, lose and get the out with a fat check. So prize money is vital to lower ranked players, way more than top players actually. The current controversy over the rise of the prize money is a good example. Grand Slams offer about 15% of the money they make to the players. Compared to other sports like like the NBA, which offer around 50%, this is peanuts. So the claims that top players like Sabalenka, Goff or Sinner are making would actually benefit lower ranked players much more than themselves. Now, I hate to break it to you, but as great a guy as Sinner is, there's no way in a million years he's gonna boycott Roland Garros the year Alcaraz is not playing it, just so that Felix Gill can buy a condo in East London. So in a nutshell, this is how money works in tennis. If you're a reasonable human being, you know now that you should study at school and become a software engineer, or screw school and become a baker, which is way cooler. If you're an irrational person, or a dreamer, or an insanely gifted kid, or Gilles Simon, who everyone told to quit but eventually made it to world number 7 in spite of looking like a clerk, or Emil Hirsch, you know what you gotta do. Fight for your dream and make it happen. Gilles Simon, he looks like a Home Depot seller, but he made it as a top player. Gilles Simon.